Eight of them all. Seka, bang.
Mangam busibu malawar. Mana mangam busibu malawar. Mana man, I am always a parasite.
Okay.
No, sorry, that.
Just
Sorry, please.
What should I say?
welcome them and
Apologize for the delay.
I will do that. Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
Good afternoon. And I would like, first of all, to apologize to all of you. I asked you guys to be here by noon, and we are almost 35 minutes delayed. We apologize for that due to circumstances beyond our control. But basically, this press conference is about the local government elections and the challenges we are facing as a party and all other opposition parties. We'll talk about the issue of buying of votes in Banjul and other areas, inducing and trying to buy candidates to withdraw from the elections, and also the rejection of our replacement for Nyanija and other matters relating to this local government election. My name is 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈. I am the Admin Secretary for Media and Communication. And to my right, we have Honorable Amadou Sane, who is the Treasurer of the party and Executive Member. And we have our Deputy Party Leader here, Ajiyam Seka, and Almame, who is the spokesperson and also Admin Secretary for Human Rights, Legal and Human Rights. We also have, who is our election expert from Banjul, Central Committee member. We have our MP of Fajikunda, Honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang. Yeah, Alaji also. Honorable Alaji. Yaya Menteng Sanyang. We have here Honorable 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, who is also our chairman candidate for Brikama Area Council. We have Honorable Musa Baji of Talinding. So we welcome all of you. And yeah, we have an executive member over there, Honorable Lamin K. Jame. And I will ask our spokesman to give a short statement before we allow Modusa to explain the issue that happened in Banjul. And I'm sure the same issues is happening all over the country, but it's the Banjul one that has been caught red-handed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sedi, the Admin Secretary for Media and Communication. I will start my intervention with thanks and praises to Allah and to greet all of you in the holy month of Ramadan. We are in the last 10 days. And we hope that our worship, our prayers, our sadaqas, and all the du'as will be translated into worthy deeds in the eyes of Allah. May it please Allah. I call on the Deputy Party Leader to also greet the gathering, because this is it's a first of its kind of a press conference. I'm sure all of you are wondering where the party leader, the Secretary General, is. He is right inside with us here, but as is his tradition, he says that the new generation of leaders of the UDP must be exposed, must be seen, must be heard to engage with the issues. And before going into all the things he has said, I will just allow the Deputy Party Leader, 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 to give a word of welcome, and then we can proceed with the press conference.
Before we proceed, can we say prayers in our different ways, please? Good afternoon to all of you. My role is very simple here, to welcome all of you here present on behalf of the party leader who is right in this office. As the spokesperson have just said, this is a press conference with a difference, not the usual press conference we used to have. The topic have already been told, and some of us will elaborate into those topics. The topics that is going to be discussed here is the topic of the day. We all know the problems about these local government elections. Buying cards, rejecting people, and so on. So the media houses, you are highly welcome. You are free to ask any questions of your choice. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Deputy Party Leader. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, it is often said that elections are won or lost a few days or a few weeks before the election day. Elections are never won or lost on election day itself. The UDP has been fighting elections for the last 25 years or so. And all our elections, we have tried to comply fully with all the laws of the land, with all the laws in respect of electioneering. What we have seen since 2016 is the continuous erosion of the rule of law where elections are concerned. But before that, I would like to remind all of you that tomorrow will mark 7 years when Solo Sandeng last saw the light of day. 7 years when Solo Sandeng's family last saw him. 7 years when he took out the banner at Westfield and said to Gambians, we have to fight for constitutional and electoral reforms. 7 years on, there has not been any significant electoral reforms. What we have seen is voter inducement and several voter malpractices, election malpractices. This coming local government elections on Saturday is 2 days away. So it's very important for all Gambians to note, one, that there are no foreign or international observers this time around. In 2021, the whole country was besieged with foreign correspondents, foreign development partners. To some extent, the last parliamentary elections, we had a similar number of observers. This time around is local government elections. It is localities, no matter how small, no matter how far away, people will elect their leaders. We have been on a campaign nationwide. Chairman Yankuba Dabo, our chairman, UDP's chairman, of course the elections are not until May, has been crisscrossing West Coast region. And West Coast region is one of the biggest and one of the most important electoral regions of the Gambia, because it has close to 40% of the votes total. And they are also neighbors with our brothers and sisters in the south of Senegal. So we are taking this opportunity to bring the leaders themselves to interact with the media, to establish, as a matter of fact, the things that are going on in the different localities. My elder brother, 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒎𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒏, will talk about some of the developments in the Salum area. And Motsar, our doyen in terms of our relationship with the IEC, he sits in the inter-party committee with Her Excellency the Deputy Party Leader, and he is representing Banjul. What is going on in Banjul, I think we are all aware of it. And at this juncture, I would like to really pay tribute to Honorable 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈 for her solidarity and for her citizen activism to ensure that no electoral malpractices happen in her constituency. We have also had her audios expressing solidarity with the 3 councillor candidates that are standing in Banjul South, that she is supporting them because one of them is a lady and they are standing under the banner of UDP. But we have always tried to make our politics a politics of performance. I think the whole of this country have seen the performance of UDP in local government. The former president of Senegal used to say this 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈. In Banjul, in KMC, in URR, in LRR, the work of our government, our local government leaders is visible for everyone to see. And we would urge Gambians to judge all of them on their performance. And the aspiring candidates, we all know their history, we all know their pedigree, we all know their commitment to serving this country. We are in the politics of service to our nation, and we want to make sure that everything we do, as the party leader has always enjoined us, we do it under the rule of law. Whatever the laws of this country say, it is what we are all going to be bound by in the final analysis. So on this brief introductory note, I will now invite Alhaji Motsar to talk about the most burning issue in Banjul and what has been done from the point of view of the UDP and other interested Gambian citizens.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tal. Thank you very much, Mr. Tal, for that brief introduction. Executive members and members of the press, I greet you all with these blessed words, Assalamu alaikum. We all know why we are here today, because some of the speakers alluded to that this is going to be a special press conference. Yes, it's a special press conference. Taking my very self as an example, since the inception of the United Democratic Party, I think this is the first time for me to face the media publicly since the inception of the United Democratic Party on the 23rd of August 1996. So therefore, definitely saying that it's a special conference, yes, it's a special press conference. Without wasting much time, As I was coming from the IEC regional office in Kanifing, going towards Banjul, I had a call. Someone called me and informed me that, have you heard what is happening in Banjul? I said, no, I'm not even in Banjul. He said that, well, if you are not in Banjul, try to be in Banjul, drive directly to the police station, because there is something happening there. I said, but what is happening? The individual told me, I have to conceal his name. The individual told me that voter buying by one gentleman, and he was caught by the National Assembly member for Banjul South. And in fact, it was within her constituency that that happened. So on my arrival at the police station, I met some surrogates of the NPP, but I never gave heed to what they are saying or what they are doing. I went directly into the police station. That was the time I was there on duty. That as a main stakeholder of the political spectrum of this country, I would be very interested to know what transpired here. That was the time the police officer told me, well, it has already been taken care of. I say, how was it taken care of? Well, they feel reluctant to answer to my, well, I said, okay, tomorrow morning I will come back. Then the following morning, I went to the station and asked for the commissioner responsible of Banjul area. And I was told that she stepped out. I said, is the deputy here? They said, yes. That was the time that I went directly to the deputy and explained what I've just explained, and explained everything to the deputy as to what has transpired. The deputy told me, okay, wait. That was the time he called the station officer. When the station officer came in, he asked him whether he knew what transpired here yesterday in the evening. Well, he said, yes. And what did you do about it? Well, he said that, I just told them that it's a civil matter. That was the time I cannot control my temperament. I told him, look, you cannot even distinguish what is civil and what is not civil. This is purely electoral fraud and inducement. Number one, the boy should not have been released. Two, he should have been accompanied with a police officer to search his house thoroughly, because we don't even know that the two voters cards that they explained that these are the two voters cards that he brought in. We don't even know. It could be more than two. That was the time the commissioner told him that, look, this is exactly what you should have done. But notwithstanding, he is here on a purpose. And what is your purpose? I say, well, we'll take the matter to a higher height. But whatever the case may be, I want you to give me the diary reference number, which he did. The diary reference number is here with me right away. But the commissioner further told me that, well, as you know, we have a commissioner who is representing us at the IEC. We'll forward the matter to that commissioner. Then I will later get back to you. Since then, that was on day before yesterday to yesterday, they didn't get back to me. Today they didn't get back, they didn't get to me. So what I am waiting for is tomorrow to go back to the police to try and find out how far they have gone with this case before going to the IEC, because the matter was reported to the police. So this is the situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Again. And if you are interested to share with me the diary reference number as well as the voter's card, which were confiscated from these boys, because he did return the voter's card to the boys. So I am having a copy of the voter's card. Thank you.
You can send it to me. I'll share it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Sedi will also explain some experiences that he has had on this regard. Thereafter, we will allow Honorable Yaya 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒎𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒂, and congratulations with Honorable Baji for your 1-year anniversary as National Assembly members. But already they are household names. Like I was saying earlier, UDP's leadership in the elected offices are proving their mettle. They are showing Gambians what the politics of development is all about. Mr. Sedi will explain experiences not around the greater Banjul area, but a little further down our countryside.
Yes, thank you very much, Almami. Just to buttress what Mozart said, it seems like this is a tactics that the NPP is using throughout the country. 2 days ago, the governor of CRR and also the chief of Salum, Ali J. Ture, and the MP, and also the 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, the deputy speaker, they went to Jimbala. Jimbala is in Salum, not far from Kaur. That's where our candidate Modu Jallo is from. They went there to induce him to withdraw his candidature, and he refused. And there are several examples like this throughout the country. So it seems like the NPP right now, their only means of winning this election or having some candidates is to induce people and go to candidates, offering them money for them to withdraw from the elections. We have seen PVP candidates who withdrew in URR, and some UDP also candidates withdrew in JAO, and all those were induced. In fact, one of them was even accompanied by 𝒂𝒊𝒗𝒊𝒏𝒈 to the Janjambure IEC office for the person to offer his letter of withdrawal. So these are the things that we will not accept, and we will take the necessary actions when the time comes to rectify this matter.
Can I just add something to
Absolutely
what he's saying about with regards to
So, good afternoon to the members of the press, and afternoon to the executive members we have on the high table here. Now, I just want to talk, just to buttress what they're saying. This voter buy-in thing of inducement that people are alleging, it's not only allegation now. Evidence has now been provided to the police, as Mozart narrated in the Banjul case. We're having we're hearing a lot of these stories or narratives from people all across West Coast. It is happening there now. And the unfortunate thing is this, the police are not doing anything about it. And that is quite, I would say, serious, because they need to be seen actively doing something to deter people from being engaged in this, because this is fraud, period. It's a voter fraud. It goes to undermine the credibility of our electoral system completely. And unfortunately, the Independent Electoral Commission, who are supposed to take a lead in this, are also not taking serious action. And they're not, because we expect them to come with a press release, a stand warning, advising all parties to desist from such actions. But they are not doing that. And I want to just say a few words about the rejection of our candidate in Chairman, that is Musa Cham's nomination. We have to be clear about this.
That's the appeal that was sent to IEC.
Okay, so we have
already the reason has been made that the person is so obviously they are not.
So they exactly.
They are not
So now we want the public, and both internationally, Gambians and anywhere, and any international body that has interest in Gambia's democracy to understand what is happening in this country. For example, a candidate who by law under section 51 of the 51(4) of the Elections Act of 1996, it says if a candidate supported by a political party, this is I'm going to read it verbatimly so that people can benefit from it, understand it clearly. It says, where the candidate withdrawing his candidature had registered his nomination under a political party, that political party may within 7 days from the date of the withdrawal field another candidate. Clearly, the law gives us discretion to field a candidate 7 days from the date of the withdrawal of the candidate that is withdrawing. What this law is clearly saying is it's trying candidates to withdraw or to induce opposition candidates to withdraw so that their candidates can go unopposed. We understand this. We realize that this is what is at play and decided to fill in a candidate in exercise of this section. Now, the rejection of the IEC, I will read it to you. They rejected the nomination of our candidate relying on section 52, and that is what they quoted in their letter. But what is the law saying under section 52 of the same act, that is the Election Act 1996? That law is very clear. It says a returning officer, this is talking about publication of the particulars of a candidate. So this one is not even talking about rejection of nomination or anything of that sort. This is talking about publishing a candidate who is already nominated. So what you do at this instance is where the candidate is nominated, you publish the candidate's details for the public to become aware that that person is nominated. The IEC relied on that section to say that, because I think this is the phrase they didn't understand, but let me read what that section said so that for the benefit of everyone, so that we can all understand what the law is saying and why they were wrong to rely on that section to reject our candidate in this instance. It says publication of particulars of candidates. A returning officer shall, as soon as may be practicable after the close of nominations, but at least 7 clear days before the date of election. That is the phrase I believe they misunderstood, and that's what they rely on. Because the next phrase, it went on, it says, or, because now it's given an alternative, where 7 days is there, or, and this instance is now saying, if the election is to be held over a period of days. And what we have in this case was that our candidate went there on Tuesday, election was going to be conducted within a matter of days, on Saturday. It says, if election is to be held over a period of days before the first day of that period published. The law is now telling them publish the names and addresses of all candidates deemed to be nominated, names and addresses of all persons nominating candidates, and representative symbols approve of each candidate. So how can anybody reasonably justify that this section gives them authority or discretion to reject
the right that a person or a candidate is exercising under Section 51. Now, we want every one of you, because this is the role of the media. It's not only political parties that need to be proactive in strengthening the democracy of this country. You people, as the media personnel, need to bring IEC to task. They need to explain this to the Gambian people. How can they justifiably, reasonably justify rejection of a political candidate aspiring to stand for his people, giving his people a choice in a democratic process in this country? But the IEC is now acting with impunity, trying to behave like they are beyond reproach or beyond the confines of the laws of this land, because this is blatant disregard of the law. You cannot look at Section 51, and this is an institution that is being advised by well-respected lawyers in this country. What are those lawyers doing? The United Democratic Party is not letting this go like this. We're going to challenge this to the courts, but we want every Gambian to know what is at play here. The whole of our democratic gains that we have made from 2016 to now is all being eroded. We have seen a government, a sitting government, that wants to portray to the world that they are conducting free and fair elections. Where is the fairness in this? Where is the fairness when the state is using state apparatus? You know what they're doing in West Coast? For example, the other day they had a meeting in Faraba, Combois. We have clear evidence. We even have video evidence of that, where they called the alcalos of the whole of that district, trying to, I wouldn't say induce, but I think they were trying to compel them, coerce them, force them into prevailing on their people to vote for MPP candidates. Where is the fairness? How can anybody regard such a system as fair? And this is a government that everybody struggles so hard in order to put in place so that we can have better democracy in this country. Our democracy can be strengthened. We can have progress. We can be represented by people that we ourselves, as the people of this country, chooses, and not imposed on us by the president or by the executive body of the government. So I want every Gambian to understand this. This is not just the battle of the political parties. It is the battle of every one of us as citizens of this country, especially the media. You've got to now drum this message out there so that it gets to every Gambian and anybody who is concerned about democracy in this country, because our democracy is now being discredited, it's been impugned, it's been tainted, it's been undermined by the very establishment that is supposed to be strengthening it, because they're the ones benefiting it more than anyone else. If anyone is benefiting from this democracy, it is Barrow and MPP, because they were the ones holding positions that which they acquired or gained from a democratic process, they claim. None of us are, but we are playing our part, as Almami said. We are operating within the confines of the law, but they are not. And I want every voter, Gambian voters, to understand that your vote matters. Don't sell it to anybody. And if anyone approaches you as they done it in Banjul, go to the police. We have to keep pressure on the police. And everyone, I want the IGP to understand this. You either do the job that you've taken an oath or sworn to do, or you leave the job. But you cannot be the Inspector General of the police and you are allowing these things to carry on in this country. Tomorrow we will hold you responsible for it. Sending similar advice to the chairman of the IEC. You are there for a reason, and there is a reason why we call it independent electoral commission. We didn't have independent electoral commission before. It used to be conducted under the local government, and everybody was saying that that is not fair because you have a state that people are opposing and that state is conducting elections. Now we are having independent.
Yeah, this way, okay. Thank you very much, the moderator, Mr. Almami Fandinta. I thank the entire executive members who are here for UDP. I also thank the ladies and gentlemen of the press for coming. I will reinforce the same apology extended to you by Mr. Tombong. We are sorry to delay you. Some of you are here. I learned till 1 hour before the commencement. We are very sorry about that. It was circumstances beyond our control. Well, I don't think I'm going to say anything new that has not been said by the previous speakers. I just want to tell the IEC to at least be capable of shame. Because for me, if you ask me, this is so disturbing. But NPP know what they are doing. If you go on house to house, you realize that I've never seen an instance where Gambians galvanize themselves into such a powerful political force and hatred against a political entity like the NPP. So they know this very well. They have done their findings and they have done their analysis, and they know they are going to lose this election outright. We are going to give them a knockout blow. Now, the strategy they are using or employing in places, especially in the remote part of this country, is to induce, entice, and encourage
better, who do not have the means to buy vote or who want to abide by the rules of the law will not buy votes. At the end of the day, the wrong people will be in our offices, and the democratic dividend will be. My message is not to repeat what I have said. My message is to Gambians. We must all condemn these electoral malpractices for our own sake and for the development of this country. The other side of it is it engenders corruption because they are using funds to buy these votes. Where are they getting the funds from? From our taxes. My money, your money, everyone's money. They are using that to buy $500, $1,000 that cannot serve you more than one day. At the end, they bring people who cannot serve you better, who cannot give you any service, who don't have ideas. So away, like Mr. Almameta has said, any effects of legal recourse, the time is not there. But what we can do is filter down to 4 corners of this country as soon as possible, so the Gambians know. And the trajectory, the way it is going, if we are not careful, we are creating our own self another dictator. So Gambians should be very careful and mindful of some of these malpractices and ensure that our vote is our voice, is our right, is our power. We ensure we select the right people to have good representation. And like Almame has said, UDP has set the pace. We've seen how the people we have given across the country, how they have delivered in their local councils. Any person who wants to provide another option must come with good alternatives, good ideas for development, not to induce us to sell our votes and render ourselves into abject poverty again for another 4 years. This message must be must be spread to all Gambians to understand that the vote we sell is our life, and if you obstinate, the poverty that comes after 20 years after now, you will be accountable for it. We are all responsible for what future we beget to our future generation. So it starts now. So I am alarmed and concerned, and I equally know every Gambian should be alarmed because this is something that's going to undermine the development of this country, and we condemn it in the most strongest term. We condemn it in the most strongest term, and if the government thinks they are delivering, this is not the option. They should sell themselves in the best manner and abide by the rules and regulations like the UDP and other parties are doing. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sar has an additional clarification to make. Thereafter, we will have a brief summary in Mandinka and Wolof, and then we can have a Q&A on the upcoming elections.
Once again, good afternoon. What I only want to clarify is when I was making my statement, I never made mention the name of the individual who involved himself in this voter buying. His name is Antuman Gom, and he's a member of the NPP Banjul South. Antuman Gom, a member of NPP Banjul South. Yes, and he is in Jollof Town Hall. And again, I want to make this thing very clear. When I say this is my first time of facing the media since the inception of the United Democratic Party, that doesn't mean that, well, I have that fear to face you people or not. No. UDP is a party that you know, they have ethics. Not every individual or every member comes out to face the media. And again, with me, I am an administrator. So this is why when I say it's my first time of facing the media, doesn't mean that I have that fear in me. No. Who knows me knows that I'm somebody whom you know I am dangerous. Very dangerous. I am dangerous more than danger itself. And with the UDP, I am as constant also as the Northern Star. So take that from me. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I think you have heard sufficiently from our side. We did this deliberately so that we can give you an apparatus of the kind of leadership that has been nurtured within the UDP. Often you will see me and the party leader making this press conference. It's because of the structure of the party, but you can hear from their articulation, you can hear from their sense of purpose, you can hear from their own sense of respect, not only for Gambian citizens, but for civil society, for our political opponents. Because what we try to do is to focus on the issues. Think about it. Issues when they come to a conclusion will now is the time to engage in progressive politics that can actually people. It's not about us. It's about the next generation. I implore us to always practice honesty, integrity, and consistency in word and action. We must say what we mean and mean what we say. That is how we can legitimately expect the same values from them. Let's stand for what is right, for the betterment of the future generations. Thank you very much. Mbooloo mi li ma doon wax rek si olof ci anglais ma bëgg koo tënk ci lu gàtt rek ci olof ak li fi gars yëpp wax mooy ne tey dañ ñëw pour wax askan bi won leen ne leen élection local government election samedi la suñ councilor si nañ leen tànn waaye gis nañ ci jamono ji ci des nii ay texa yoo xam ne daal jaaxal na Gambien si ñun dégg nañ honorable Fatoumata Ndiaye Touma ca Banjul South ne gis na loo xam ne njublan la gis na loo xam ne àndut ak loi élection yi Gambia ba tax na dem na ci police ñu ngi ko see ndokkale di ko jaajëfal ndax doomi réew bu baax soo gisee loo xam ne àndut ak luwaay réew mi war nga see mun a jox taxaw wax ci sa soxla. ñaareel bi honorable Tombong wax na ne gars yi ci CRR ci Saloum bi deputy speaker bi ak benn ak Gallo ak gouverneur bi dem nañ ci kër ne suñ ak chef bi dem nañ ci kër ñu ne suñ candidat bi fa war a taxaw dafa war a bàyyi bu mu taxaw moom candidat bi nag bañ na mu ne moom dafa taxaw ci local government election so gis nañ ay njublan yu bari yuy dox benn bi suñ benn candidat bi tamit si Thiamène dafa withdraw loi bi joxoon nañ ñu nag doole pour ñu teeloo fa beneen candidat waaye ñu dem ci IEC suñ parti bi bind nañ pétition appel nañ pour ñu jox ñu pour am nañ kuñ fa mun a delloo waaye IEC fu mu nekk ñu ne foofu constituency bi is not opposed ward bi is not opposed so yii yëpp dañ bëggoon rek pour ñu wax ko taskati xibaar yi ñu xamee ko ne UDP saa yu nekk li ma wax mooy ne loi réew mi ñun ñëpp la sàmm loi réew mi lañ war di doxalee suñ politique bi ba tax na duñ dee yu bari duñ ko dee nangoo def ba nga xam ne yëpp jëf ji xew na ba pare suñ demee ci attekaay bi ñaareel ñu am fa loo xam ne duñu dee doy daal so looloo tax tey ñu ne suñ press conference bi dinañ isi suñ ñi nga xam ne ñoom lay askan bi taana ku mel ni honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang ku mel ni honorable Badji ak suñ candidat bi taxaw pour chairman bi sit bi ci mai incha allah Yankuba Dabo pour ñoom it ñu ñëw wax rek naka lañ gisee affaire gi ak politique bi fan la toll lii moo taxoon ñu ne ñu def press conference bu tey Alaaji Ousainou Dabo mu ngi ci biir waaye dafa bëgg a wane ndawi UDP seen taxawaay ak seen liggéey pour ngir bëgg a seen réew bëgg a seen réew dem ci kanam bëgg a tamit nit ñi xam leen xamee leen déggal li ñoo wax ndax li ñoo wax yëpp dafa ànd ak maanaam looloo tax deputy party leader moo ko fi toogal Moussa tamit ñëw na jógee Banjul wax ñu li fa xew so ci gàttal rek lii moo taxoon ñu oote taskati xibaar yi di leen ñaan pour liñ fi wax yëpp li ànd ak yoon ñu tasaare ko won ko Gambien si samedi la élection bi ñu ngi ñaan Gambien si ne lii gox-goxaanu ndaw yi nekk ci Gambie yëpp élection si na fa xew soo leen taanee ñi nga xam ne mun nañ leen a liggéeyal ndax ñun suñ ndaw yi won nañ lan lañ mun a def baax na rek suñoo tànn njiit honorable Badji wax na ko nga tànn koo xam ne dina la liggéeyal ndax liggéey rek mooy yóbbu réew ci kanam dinaa jox suma xarit Yaya Menteng mu tënk ko ci kàllaama soose liñ jot a waxtaan
Assalamualaikum. 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒏𝒂𝒂 temoti mais alon ko a vigilante à la constituency kan fo anata ni mol muta de carte samola ye ay samba police bidum comme même police wala kilimbalea UDP la police wala kilimbalea Gambia la imanna action taji ko drum woli remove woli murdi man wol kan bidin ni tar police wala yanta men kala drum ya mari muta ya detain ya body confined ina beta fo ala bumpon yenyu bon je ko ndolma long ay carte carte sabador ne bonni bon carte gele do anum the extent of the scheme fo atendor ne ba kam fali modo la bana police lo nyanta investigation no yelle ni yalo nyenyi ke mina kamba dimala ya bulala mo jelle ba kan ataben ben kan ani yemo jelle voters card police lo nyanta ni establish la yo fo Gambien kate falia but Gambien police lo mbe ya mar la mbe wona ko dol ten energy ni na fero ni na patie na stock to na kono e to ka fa tour na wala to accept la mo akol dol dem ñu banko dingol leti e dol police lo Gambien dingol leti so sa ketu bake ni nga kudi la me ana ko yenda ya investigate e ka investigate for UDP ka investigate for Gambien be le ko so police lo sa ketu ad Gambien no franco diam la ya fa nyame atol news atol kibaru jangen nalu ani civil society organisation ben kam wala ñentol kele animu ngolbe la kele ninda ke no la UDP la kelo to as political organisation Gambien no be la ñenti fandi la kelo ko pour le bu baji ya fa jaay kuma kende balfo carte sunya carte sango alla balu akawlo mita alla balu ñim alla balu ñanyimma aga wori tan la individual so mo kule do wati ko mo be le ñenta kal against that atol national assembly membal political organisation or civil society organisation ki bar jangen na be nga kata ngata ni Gambia no ko MPP parti pour ñaadi le mais alo ko iban interest al development na bari ko be fan development ñaaba bari ya jël ko Gambian or Gambians are not excited again when we mention NPP ni ndam mo ko NPP mention nobody is excited. Nobody want to know and they know that Nimba reflect like election in Colombia. That is why they have released millions. They have the candidate who that is really each candidate. But Timbale found it. But no from one national. The National Assembly election, you 500,000 candidate already. The party less than 20,000. But we still won. We still won. I know Mbadi will the provinces. E ka tulu wolle hakilo la dal sondo mol e ke any ku na ni la ko o meno ka mo sodo senya ko e ka sambe ka dia to la to mo mo be dan be para province ana na mon call kan na nyato sa o mo tol be responsibility inshallah ko nga fu nyame mbadi honorable Darboe'S atile am so ni se be mani gaspide dan aya dina balance
Mbadi mulu damir la do ning mangi ka kamwela dafta min kafla honorable ya ning ade ko min mu samari de dim foda ja ta ko den man no ko mi ya ko nyami election on le kede ko election on do mata kuma da ba ke bayri mi molle tammin ni kamini ya no ko wolle nyanta marlanda fa ko la den na nyama ko mulu kuma ta ba bari luwaye min sartin wala ni election o nyanta tamala ni ni wala momo ila ko min diya dila bari nga min je min be kere wala min ko president baro anala MPP be men tamani ko wala min dolle be sembo ben dolle be bulu min diya ran dole kela and the independent electoral commission ni anu ko ali mo jaay la nyaato kaya luwaye sembo di tolle la to ko tilimo patiol tema ye wo tilimo tamande nge jele ton fana mampare ko wo tilimo nyen tamande lafta min fo la gamnero le ko min fo ja wala min ko ni manke opposition party kelen na kelo la manke mo kelen na kelo mbele la kelo ni adum kelo nyen ka keno nyami ali mo mo njaay ama bonam malay konten alama jendina IGP of police malay konten alama jendina alla molemu alla baade molemu sama sinin
nim mol ba konte bola abatol le affect la nim kudo ke da to le beta bor la le tanina bo nam nan fala je wolum nyentu ko nim telefono be na tema kumande ya fa moro tilimo tamande inin ala tema samani fata mol le beta ni bango kam min be sheria wolle bina le ya foko ni ñon ke ba janke no ma ci anda election ko to janna suñam bul den kilo be la kan na ba be so ni ba dem mate ni wo be dimla sama woto wuli bi ye tonya wala fa ali mamar jaye ya fa ko tilimo tamande banko kan the same thing with the IGP of police by ni ko be be tamakam police la nyaton ko la dem police lo la wala ta sharia police man jina santo imanke malaikati alame bondinan lado de albade wonde di boto portale ko e karado ko le ka seyna portale ko ye kalole ke ala yin ala teme ko be tilol ka yomal kiyama na le jeta la jahannama ta dialal al diamu ye sign aliya fo ko do ko ke do salabi bina manjarala al tilmo tamande al konya tamande ngajala min ke ta modor bade wala jak kabiri nata TRRC be la kul fole kuriyal min ke molla nyim bango ka akuyate bade mo dole wona mene fala je mo be la kelolum alla kelolum al beya dati ka diam wal bade mo le min yalla police lem aliya foye tonya tamani ni bade mo ka be aisha fa e bota ni mo le carte o min fay I make so wol carte o e konti ay tilimbaliya bula tajente ya be wala andu nite ma dati ma fay iba moy la molla bi kon don tende la kola ba fola andu memo memben don la parti de opposition don ba fola andal kondinel Sidi Ndiaye Demba Sabal anini mole gamen to fo Anthony Gom men be Banjul Antoine Ngom men be Banjul e manke malaikati alame jinnilal blato albadumol leyti allamol leyti ibe minna anin silo mantay be minne be tilimbal yalle be minne be tajinte yalle mol la nyanto e bola tinya kan altali diamu yi andal se diamu do yele lungo lung al diamu ye sign nan man diamu ye sign asama to ko ya wadal karla de ko bande ko bunna jeni la ran jeni ba kada bakara al ko kallem andu mol ye min ke mol la wolte o bayla ko sa wole ke tan previous governments bini mol diam ta buka diam do le bari yenta do na wole ke tan no andu ma kete to be jang iman sonna diam le bade wole ya foye estilo tamanda nyanda tamana nyambe al kelle muyti al dingol le muyti al barande wol le muyti al barande muyti al falle muyti al mama nyol le al tonya wala mo foye jang nan man la fi mol tonya foye banda min te diala andu wonyanta kelal la kelolati wonyanta kelal mo be la kelolati ngolo ko journaliste le election ko kumata banko la nyaado da kumata kaf molu lafta minna alu bulay tan nakaro man beta ku kon aka ni akela ta diale imanya na sonne ka ga modo le ga ko because UDP lem wara ni sikarle wara ni mo karle wole atina ite de fem fona no nakaro yaade dawda kumo bay alkan muslimo le dal be sunkande sunkaro ko alla mo do ko ke ga al wulim benga ni kelo damuda opposition on dona dadde se minno mbole ke ka wala ñinde mimbe ke nga futandal journaliste ya futandal ni futandal say atol mi mu baade mo atol mi mu ni be sukilinga ni be al kuke ñol muyte ala da dale tonya foye ni ma danko alal atondel ba simo kunta ni tem ko mo kurol le mo jenkere wol le moyti ande man ke tir mo tile ne wodi num ibe na hakole domoka no ni fada almamo jamme salte koma e ko be kuma be dogole ibe fanya la fola ko dal nga kata nga kuma sobe fo ni moli ya moy almamo ya foyla mimbaro do banko be we all have to be advocates mo be le nyanta kala civic advocate de nen ko ni banko la démocratie ta nyaaro de nemma démocratie joro yalo ne fano gënami wala kelo no ma fele kelo ma bedea ama mo samba nyaato mi mo samba wala démocratie ba démocratie kata ni tilmo ko do abaka keno jempo ko o dal nga tilmo tamani bar wo tilmo ni mo be la hakko le bide mo be la hakko tamani wo tilmo ni do
observed that the president has given 300,000 candidates, and the candidates nominated are 99 candidates. If he multiply 300,000 by 98 candidates, the total amount is going to be $29,700,000. That's too much. That's too much. $29,700,000. That's too much. 700,000. I repeat, $29 million. 700,000. Where are we heading to? Where? Where are we heading to? Where are we heading to? Where are we heading to as Gambians? It's very sad. Very sad.
Thank you very much, Deputy Party Leader. Thank you very much, my colleagues in the executive and honorables Sanyan and Baji. I see Mr. Baji has other business and has to go. But now it is over to you, ladies and gentlemen, and the press. You can ask your question in any of our languages. You can, of course, ask in English as well. Thank you very much. I recognize the young lady. Please identify yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon. I am 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈 from Darboe'S after all your allegations and evidence that you guys provided to the media, have you officially reported this matter to the IEC? Because we are all well aware that as part of the IEC principle and rule of the law, this is totally illegal and unaccepted. And if such a matter happens, that party that is involved need to take a disciplinary action towards the party. And the follow-up to that is, do you really have hope in our IEC system right now?
Mr. Sar will answer specific IEC questions, but I think your question deserves at least two responses. The management and regulation of elections is entirely the mandate of the IEC. However, the law enforcement of the Gambia is the responsibility of the IGP. When two civilians have a disagreement or they have issues, their first port of call obviously is the IGP's office. The IGP also has under its authority commissions. I understand there is a commissioner attached to the IEC to make sure that we don't have unnecessary tension or violent disagreements. So just to clarify that regulation and management of elections is the responsibility of the IEC. But today we have seen a headline that is very worrying. The chairman of the IEC, who is in his 80s, talking to the media, saying that he made a mistake about the time his contract of employment is going to expire. Now, we have been saying this since 2020, that the transparent working of the IEC as an institution is something that all Gambians have a vested interest in. We have questioned the validity of the voter roll. We went to court for all of these things. I'm saying this today to make it absolutely clear that for the rule of law to prevail in all our dealings, the laws themselves must be just and equitable. People must be able to confirm that, yes, this is the term of employment of the chairman of the IEC. And the Constitution is very clear, it's unequivocal about that. And I don't think any Gambian is in denial of the fact that the 2016 election was conducted under the chairmanship of the IEC of Mr. Alaji Muhammad Njai. So if at all his mandate was renewed in 2017, it was going to be for the last time. And 2017 to date is 7 years, which is all in the Constitution. So really, at the end of the day, the rule of law should mean something for all Gambians. But I just want the media, particularly, we have been exhorting you to do your own findings, to determine for yourself what the laws are, because we don't want you to have this partisan taint. My learned friend, Honorable Sanyang, and my learned friend, Yankuba Dabo, we are all familiar with the language of law. It's very clear, it's very straightforward. But when other things are involved, people start becoming constitutional interpreters, and you will have long analysis. But we are very encouraged by the input of a lot of civil society, because I can name Pasamba Jau, coach, coming yesterday on Coffee Time with Peter, to explain his own take on this issue. So the more we can be enlightened about the responsibilities and the mandates of all our institutions, the better it is for Gambians. Because these institutions are created to actually solve the problems that emerge. Hopefully, the next local government election will coincide with parliamentary election in 2027. Because our local government leaders went to court to insist that the laws of this country are applied. So this is just to explain that when you have a government that respects the rule of law will prevail in every aspect of our lives. But specifically on this IEC issue, our delegate to the IEC, our permanent representative to the IEC, is Alhaji Mosar, and he may want to respond specifically to that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fa, and thank you very much, Lily. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll come directly to your question. First and foremost, this matter was reported to the police. This is why, when I stepped in, I went directly to the police. From the police, I went to the IEC regional office, because this is local government elections. Whenever there is any incident or occurrence of such a nature, well, you report the matter verbally first and foremost to the regional office. This I did. But notwithstanding, we are still waiting for the report of the police or the development that the police took as far as this matter is concerned. After hearing from the police, whether it's going to be positive or negative, is there and then where we will take it up with the regional office of the IEC officially to further it to the election house. That is the main regional office of the IEC. Thank you very much. Pardon?
Has this been reported to the IEC?
Yeah, this is what I told you. I say it's been reported to the regional office.
The follow-up question to that is, as a UDP party, do you still have hope with our current IEC system?
Well,
Confidence.
Yes.
Confidence, definitely with me. With the current issues, prevailing now, definitely we have no confidence with the IEC. We have no confidence. With the current issues going on, definitely we have no confidence in the IEC to conducting this election. Thank you.
Yes, madam.
Name and from which media?
My name is regarding the voter buy, UDP as a party, what are the plans in place to avoid such happening in other areas of the country? And I have another question in the local level. That is the Madinka. That goes to Mr. Dabo. Mr. Dabo, you diamo for MPP, the Muria and Kalu, Kofi near Demonstration, diamo, it is not the chairman of the council, but he was near the actually, Mr. President, what I didn't plan the put
Baraka Bake, when you're in Karola. I think I'm answering the Mandinka question, then I'll pass.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Baraka Bake, when you're in Karola. Alkalolu yalong 2016 baro fon kumbota janna ko alkalolu ning sefolu ye dabon politiko andi nyande dabon la politiko so ni tol fon sai ko governor use anen sefolu anen local government minister ga alkalolu kuman ko nyimmi don ko farabal ya alkalo ya kawdo bakar sanya na korda so ka alkalolu minu bebe o tunno to gombo is kane fenanje womu kulete miyalon ko nga baile and number 2 nga minke the first thing we did nga report le to the IEC but IEC la West Coast mano nying minna number be candidate role council nying kabri akumande akufo we have any evidence of it so namol tata around they took video and then they took pictures kabri ye woldo picture nim video ta kan dron minister ning anen governor ngamre miton close wolto enen boro tata ning minister nim tenko tata ning commercial fale commercial ta local government mesa abasanya honorable abasanya ne bijanen governor Usman Bojay tolle benum miton do so it told tata ning commercial fale man nani nyaata sulola we don't know for whatever reason but it had an commercial la no IEC we must commend them on that occasion because in other minke ila mul nata nale they send a team minu nata na kana gibe fo ñu be do but then it will arrive where tara ñu tata and we gave them our evidence and the mim fo wolum ñu go it told fo they did their own fact finding janni ka futa and then they confirmed that that meeting actually took place there on that day so just what I was saying in English what I was saying in Mandinka I just want to translate it into English for the benefit of those that are not able to speak Mandinka. So the question was, what steps had UDP taken or what step could we have taken or would we take if such an situation happened? So we're talking about an issue here that which happened at Faraba where the governor of West Coast, Usman Bojang, together with the Minister of Local Governments and Lands, Honorable Abasanya, convened a meeting at the residence of the Darboe'S district chief, 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈 compound in the Darboe'S region of West Coast, where they convened a meeting of all the alcalos in the region. And at that meeting, they were more or less compelling the alcalos, forcing them literally, trying to force them in order for those alcalos to prevail on their citizens of their villages, of their various villages, to vote for MPP nominated candidates. That is unfair, one, because the alcalos and the 𝒂𝒊𝒄s are not supposed to be partisan. This is something which President Barrow himself complained about during the 2016 elections. He reiterated it, I believe, in 2017 when we were doing the Meet the People's Tour. He says alcalos and the 𝒂𝒊𝒄s need to abstain or eschew themselves from politics because they are supposed to be neutral. Now, if he himself or his minister is now leading such, encouraging such, that is a concern that which, first, we need to expose. Second, every Gambian needs to be upset about it, and we all need to raise or protest against it because that shouldn't happen in this country. And if it is happening in West Coast, in Combo, I can only imagine that it is happening everywhere. As it happened in Nyani, where our candidate was convinced or more or less influenced to withdraw his candidature. We are talking about the deputy speaker of National Assembly of this country. The deputy speaker and the speaker are supposed to be non-partisan. The moment you are appointed at those posts, you are supposed to throw your whatever political hat somewhere far away from any political scene. But that is not what is happening. And they engaged on that occasion. You had again a 𝒉𝒄 was involved, and then a governor was involved. So every one of these state or executive or members in authority are actively engaged in politics in favor of the MPP. That is something that which undermines the fairness of our electoral process. Anybody who claims that one can attain a free and a fair, it might be free, but it cannot be classed as fair elections under such a climate, where every executive, every member of the executive is actively engaging in support of the incumbent. That is just not fair at all. And that's what we are saying. And the steps we've taken in the Combo is one. We reported it to the IEC regional returning officer, and then they told us that they were going to take action, and they've asked us to gather evidence, which we did, but they also sent some of their own agents to come and verify the facts. When they came, they confirmed to us that they did their own verifications and were satisfied that meeting which we allege indeed took place, and we also provided them with that evidence. What they're going to do, we don't know. But this, as Almame said, it is their duty. It is under their purview for them to manage and regulate election affairs in this country. And that is one reason why, as Motsar said, we lack the confidence in them to hold a fair election, because we want them to be a lot more proactive than this. They needed to be on the ground. They need to make sure any allegation that is made, they themselves are with the police. That's why we have police commissioner attached to the IEC. IEC is supposed to be leading in this thing. But where is the IEC? That is the question everybody is asking. They are never there. They are always on call. You have to call them to come and do something. They are supposed to be having people on the ground everywhere to make sure their credibility is boosted, because they've lost a lot of ground on that. And I don't think they're doing a good job at regaining that.
Thank you very much. No, I just want to react to your first question. Yeah. That is, what is UDP doing to stop the voter inducement? If you have been paying attention to all the details and explanations since the beginning of this press conference, number one, we said we want to stop it. That is why we called the press conference today to expose it to Gambians what is happening. Number two, he said he went to the police and report the matter. We are not going to encourage our supporters to fight, to go into physical confrontation with anybody. We are not going to do that. So this is what we can do. First, we call you people to expose it. We also encourage the civil society organization to expose it. Our election guy said he went to report the matter to the police, I think even to the regional IEC office. So this is what we can do. And we also told you people, every Gambian, it's a business of every Gambian, not only UDP. So the question of what is UDP doing should have been, what will Gambian do to stop this? This one, and also we have encouraged our 400 to 500,000 voters around the country to be vigilant, but not to fight. To be vigilant, to see what is happening around their neighborhood, but not to go into physical confrontation with anybody. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
gis nañ ne démb yéen waa UDP dina ngeen jox ko ay ndax tontu nañ leen am déet parce que tey suba am na xibaar yu yëg yi nga xam ne jógee ko nañ ci ay ndax yéen yëg ngeen ko wala yëgoo leen ko am déet beneen bi mooy candidat yi nga xamante ne taxawoon nañ ci seen parti du bàyyi lan la ñuy xaar ci yéen jamono ji li nga xam ne yéen tam di ngeen ko mën a woon électeur civil beneen bi mooy saa su ne gis nañ UDP dañuy kebetu wala dañuy wax saa yu élection tamit te ba tey yéen ngi bokk ci état parti ban mooy njëriñ teef yi nga xam ne ni UDP mënu ko ba tey.
waaw ñu commencé boobu.
waaw
di la gërëm di la sant ci laajte bi nga laajte xew-xew yi yëpp ñëw nañ ci jamono boo xam ne dafa jàmpa te jàmpa bi mu jàmpa nag moo tax ñu ne nañ njëkk a seet naka lañ ko saafara laaj tey ni ma la ko mun a waxee rek mooy soo amee ganaar goo xam ne yaa ngi am fox boo xam ne mu ngi ci gannaaw kër gi foog naa ne dangaa njëkk a seet naka nga sowee ganaar bi mu nekk ci kër gi nga soog a ñëw nag ci affaire yi fox bi so lii mooy li nga xam ne moo ci nekk moo tax interparty bi ñëwanguñ ci loolu dinañ ci ñëw nag ndik ni nga ko waxee li xew mooy dafa am jamono yoo xam ne dafa am lu taxoon UDP ñu yóbbu seen njiit yëpp kaso jamono boobu métti na torop te loolu lañ doon xeex moom la li ñoo wax ci angale we are still singing the same song that was sung yesterday benn woy bi rek la ñoo woy ba léegi kon boog woy boobu li xew nii bokk na ci interparty bi nag dinañ leen engage waaye suñ demee ba exhaust li nga xam ne ci lañ nekka booba nag dinañ yóbbu affaire gi tëddal ko ci interparty bi we are fortunate enough ne deputy party leader member interparty bi la dégg na sa question bi man tamit I am member dégg naa sa question bi notwithstanding mata bi dina egga ci interparty bi waaye nag nañ njëkk a deal with the situation because xam nga ñu ngi deal with the police suñ jógee police yi dinañ dem IEC be less assured we leave no stone unturned waaw moom laa wax ci issue bi la wax waxul njëriñ ci issue bi man issue bi rek laa mun a wax ci affaire interparty bi ci issue bi dama foog na ci issue bi nga wax not well foog naa ne boobu waaw foofu dinaa jébal suma deputy party leader mu sànni kàddu ci question boobu antiyam
waaw li nga wax dëgg la
antiyam balaa ngaa wax laajtekat bi ñu ngi ko bëgg a woon ne ko ñun UDP du ñoo kebetu dañoo wax mu leer
dëgg la
so ñu ngi ñaan rek pour ñu understandante liñ fi wax bi ñoo commencé waxtaan bi mooy ne soo gisee tey ñu defee press conference bi nii ndaxam mi noonu nañ di génnee ay statement di dem court waaye fekka li xew na ba pare xam nga loolu nag su fekkee ne xew na ci dëkka dangaa gis ne nit ñu bari gisuloo li nga laajte lan mooy njëriñi interparty mun ngaa laajte sax lan mooy njëriñi press conference lii mooy waxtaani rek jaama parce que UDP loolu lañ xam ñun li ñoo wax ñu ne na réew mi booloo nekk ak benn ñun ñoo bokkandee ak baay so daf waxtu wax moo jot so loolu tax ñu oote waxtaan bi waaye nag pour leeral balaa deputy party speaker bi di ñëw ñun di ñoo kebe
jërëjëf Almami Tall li ma wax mooy interparty bi am na njëriñ si réew mi parce que interparty bi parti yi nga xam ne they are all registered with the IEC ñoo sa bokka interparty am na incidence yu bare yoo xam ne dañ ko solve ba nga xam ne jaal def si jàmm am na benn at mënuma fàttali ko at bi GDC Moussa sent to be corrected GDC ñu amoon problème ak NPP bi léegi GDC dafa am fu ñu identify ne dañ fa def rally léegi police inspecteur général police Diop yal na ko yàlla yërëm wane ne foofa GDC duñ fa am meeting GDC wax ba tey ñoo duñ fa am meeting ñu form delegation I led that delegation ñu dem si Mamou Diop waxa moom ne ko comme que NPP dañ fa amoon meeting URR la de NPP dañ fa amoon meeting sa area booba Jimara Bakadaaji léegi NPP am nañ fa meeting police grant leen permit ñu am meeting foofu am farali léegi GDC bu dem di same area pour meeting di same police aaye leen ko ñu ne ko lu tax nga def loolu ñu interparti bi dañ bugg a intervene gis ne GDC nañ fa am meeting waaye maamu jooboon nu ne foofa MPP duñ fa amati meeting te kenn du fa amati meeting ñu ne ñu ne waaw ñu d'accord si loolu te place bente kenn amatu fa meeting bon IPC ñu ngi liggéey incident yi see xew di daf dee bare ñu di ko dox te kenn du ko yëg parce que suñ intervenut réew mi dafa tàkka IC suñ fa demee am parti kola suñ fa demee man nekkuma UDP although UDP la represent Mamou Sarr waa keneen nekk fa GDC keneen nekk fa NPP dañoo gis Gambia ñu discuss as Gambia li jaaxal Gambia yëpp in politics ñu sotaat ko te kenn du ko yëg am na yoo xam ne doo ko def ba pare dem ci media bi di ko yëg de amul njëriñ waaye IPC ñu ngi liggéey li ñu war a liggéey te duñ taay duñ xaadi am na yu sew yoo xam ne dee leen ko yëg parce que comité boo xam ne ay kilifa fa nekk parti yi doyloo leen taaj leen fa duñ dem lu tuuti luñ def rek la ko dem ci media bi amul njëriñ waaye tooguñ ci benn problème yi parti su fekkee ni am na benn incident sax weeri ko luy nekk ni di élection foog naa last national assembly election fii laa ñëw moo wax xëcci daabo ñu kool Halifa Sallah ñu wax affaire weeri koor bi ak amul ñaasi waaye dañu won ne loi bi dafa mayee ne période bi seen war am élection weeri koor bi ñu wax ni ñu ñoo ko njëkk a daaxalu waaye nag loi bee taxaw mënuñ koo daaxal IPC li ñoo liggéey bari na si gàttal rek te yéen soo leen déggee dara loo xam ne wrong na challenge ko tuuti IEC ngeen xam naka la ñoo doxalee jërë leen jëf xam nga tontu naa sa
the question foofu sax dama fa déggu doon bu baax li Mr Tall wax léegi nii kebetu bi UDP du ñoo kebetu de loolu mun naa la ko asoo tey réew mi fi mu toll nii gannaaw yàlla tey United Democratic Party la te kebetu wuñ dañ wone suñ doole dëgga suñ xam-xam suñ mun-mun suñ pas-pas ak suñ ngor moo indi réew mi fi mu nekk nii tey ci liñ ne nii tey dama la asoone affaire yi jënd karta bii nii ak affaire yi ñaani jabi duñ ko jël very lightly at the level of the United Democratic Party laa la wax nag duñ ko jël very lightly because dafa very hard ni mu xewee ak niñ ko defee soo dégloo kii lim lead liñ mënut a understand mooy candidate bi rejectuñ ko if the candidate was rejected te timeline bi exhaust nañ ko booba mënuñoo am benn replacement candidate bi dañ ko nominate already by a political party under the banner of the political party mu dem up to the 11th hour foog naa ne 2 hours before time frame bi exhaust mu withdraw automatically section 51 is categorically clear amul benn fen boo ko ci benn law house boo ko yóbbu ñu daaneel ko déedéet amul dañ def lu leen neex te lii moo fi daan xew démba barka démba te lii moo tax ñu ne Adama Barrow dafa war a déglu nit ñi te ci kaw lii lañ jëlee Adama Barrow indi ko fi mu nekk nii tey kon boog man li ma laa wax UDP musu ñoo kebetu te duñ musa kebetu jërëjëf.
waaw pour tontu rek sa laajte bu njëkk bi ñi nga xam ne withdraw nañ wax dëgg yàlla du ma ne yaakaar bu tas la waaye betta nañu ndax bi ñoo ut place bi dañu wonoon ne ñoom nit ñu déggu lañ nit ñu am ngor lañ nit ñu am jom lañ te du ñoom kenn rek ñoo apply ñun suñ kansilo yëpp yàlla def na ñu bari bëggoon nañ ñoo nekk candidate yi UDP te dañ amoon ay mandarga yuñ xàmmee woon ci candidate si Yankuba Dabo lawyer Yankuba Dabo mi nga gis ni ñoom seen chairmanship bi bokk na ci chairmanship bi nga xam ne dafa mel ni Gambie yëpp a ko bëggoon am na ñu jógee bitim réew am na ñoo xam ne bàyyi nañ seen liggéey ñu bari bëggoon nañoo nekk bindu pour nekk suñ candidate waaye criteria biñ def ba pare ñu def suñ élection ñun suñ biir sélection committee bi moo tax candidate buñ tànna dañ dee am yaakaar ci yow bu baax a baax parce que parti bi ci boppam dafa am démocratie ci biir parti bi parti leader bi dafa toog deputy parti leader bi dafa toog suba ba ngoon di seet seen kayit yi di seet seen mun-mun seen xam-xam ak seen jaar-jaar waaye ñooñu su fekkee ne nag tey withdraw nañ wax dëgg yàlla jarut sax pour ñu toog ne dañoo waxtaan ak ñoom wala dañoo baamtuwaat yéena yi ndax élection dina ñëwaat te ñun suñ li ñoo wax rek maamun lii maamun laa defal ñu gis ñun ñu ngee def foog nañ ne Gambien si léegi gom nañ ñu gis nañ suñ mayors yi Banjul ak Kanifing nit ñoo xam ne bokkuñoo ñun parti ñu ngi jóg di ñaxtu di express solidarité di bokk ci jongante bi gis nañ ko ci ku mel ni Nene Frida Gomez ñëw na mu ngi taxaw mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda MC Cham gis nañ honorable Touma Ndiaye mu ngi taxaw Rohi Malick Lo ak Kansulo Sami ci Banjul so ñun li ñoo wax mooy ne politics bi fi UDP di def ak niñ dee tànnee suñ député ni ñoo tànnee suñ councilors yi ni ñoo tànnee suñ chairman yi yëpp dafa jaar ak yoon suñ constitution bi def ñu jox yoon yoo xam ne kuñ tànna rek xamal ne kooku mut na tànneef soo demee nag ba nga gis leneen nga ne da ngaa génn ci loolu ci jàmm ak salaam dañ laa bàyyi nga dem rek amut wax nii amut wax na le foog naa démocratie moo mel noonu suñ président mu njëkk bi loolu la wax mu ne soo defut dara dara du la dal si démocratie ni man kuke kute la loolu la Sadaaw da jàngale foog naa Mot Sarr ak député parti leader bi tontu nañ yeneen laajte yi waaw pétition biñ binda ñun liñ si jàng mooy ne ay si dañ wax ne lifin bi candidate bi is going unopposed mu wone na ne ñun pétition biñ binda seetuñ ko wéeruwuñ ci loi defuñ liñ war a def am na ko fi laajte mu ne ndax am nañ confidence ci IEC am nga doxalin yi soo ko defee foog rek nit ñi laajte te confidence nag moom yow da nga ko war a eloo du noo xam ne da ngaa xëy suba rek ne waaw nit ñi am nañ confidence ci man sa liggéey moo ko wone joxuñu benn official reply tontu wuñu ci benn boor waaye ñoom def nañ seen announcement ci wàlla boobu waaw ñun li ñoo def yooyu yëpp lu ñoo waxtaan la balaañ koo def executive bi dinañ war a toog waxtaan ñu seet yoon yi nga xam ne moom lañ am jël yoon yooyu noonu lu ñoo def rek dañ ko teg ci yoon dañ ko teg ci loi waaw loolu la ay siwa loolu la ay siwa yes
water buying and inducement are really, raising the accomplishments in our electoral process. And it should really take a concern of because the dangers associated with it, some of them are one, it jeopardizes and undermines our electoral process and our democratic process, and also it goes to deprive certain person from, assuming a critical position in serving the best interest of the citizen. So having said that, what strategy or plan is in place at the level of unity to ensure that you, in collaboration with other actors in the politics of this country, to ensure that the issue of inducement is put first, because it is really alarming and requires concerted effort to make sure that it is put first. Thank you.
Elections are a process. Like we said earlier, the management of elections and the regulation of elections is the mandate. It's a constitutional mandate of the IEC. I think Honorable Yankuba Dabo has said it earlier. The important thing is for the IEC to live up to its true mandate by being involved, by engaging communities. I think Honorable Sanyang also made that mention that civil society, particularly, and the media, and the ordinary citizen must wake up to their responsibility in safeguarding our democratic gains. We cannot build a democratic republic in the absence of the laws that govern all of us. If anybody is found infringing or violating the basic laws of this land, it's the responsibility of every citizen, regardless of party affiliation, to stand up to that person. But I said earlier that the IEC, the IGP, these are the principal actors to ensure that there is peace. Now, what UDP is doing is like this engagement, like similar engagements that Honorable Tumanjai has undertaken, like the complaint that Mozart has made. We want the media to amplify these voices and to take this evidence to town. But the conduct of the IEC over the years has been very lackadaisical. You go there, I remember during the presidential election, we had a team led by the deputy party leader. We went there to produce and share evidence with the deputy chairman of the IEC. So at the end of the day, I think you in the media must take to task all our institutions, all our political parties, all our political leaders. I heard somebody talking about the inter-party. I think the inter-party should be strengthened beyond what it is now. It should be put on a national footing. And I will urge my brother, the member of the National Assembly for Latrikunda, to introduce a private members bill in Parliament to strengthen the inter-party as a statutory corporation or a statutory body, because these are important institutions to ensure our democracy is functioning effectively. Because without that, all of the efforts are going to be on a volunteer basis, and we are also going to be at the mercy of what is it called, our international community. But for local government elections, where are the citizens? In every locality you go to, people have issues, they have challenges, and it is only our local leaders, from the National Assembly member to the councillor. These are the people who can actually solve problems. And we have demonstrated over the last 5 years how capable our leaders are, both in the National Assembly as well as in local government. So what we are doing is constantly looking at the state of affairs, ibe dopole jamae suto nintilo na bota woto tata député bungoto lungo lung sanji kilin yewole ke je ya nyolo anin honorable baji nyol sanji kilin yewole ke député yala so démocratie manji kilate soto jede andung mamira Hussein Dabo be baluring Amadou Sane be baluring Alhaji Mod Sane be baluring Ajiyam Seka be baluring ntolla kelo a jawarol bebe si be balurin ne andung ibe yamari kan ne pour nga démocratie bambandi nga démocratie lamoy nanyi nyaton kolu minube AIC minube policiala wol be laftale drong ye hakilo murundi koma ko sanji woro wula komanto sama solo sande wole mala lun labanti duniya kono sanji woro wula komanto wolun neng solo samel na dimbaya labanta kaje so nimbe politiko fola nimbe demokrasi fola Gambia ntolunga furewol le soto mol le fata ibe fanjela ni démocratie kuma kenso wol min be ka fo iba jele ko na fatela politiko pour banku do kola andu si banko do kuma to de parce que do ko min be banko ka siatale aman jari be mol fola min ya lonka man ke toñati be banko la mol la na flotala ba burundi le kan ka fo ko ha nale min nale ka to fayni be dinni ni nekela banko la nyato ka bo mon la namo le bala mon le ka namo jo wo nenero mon nyanta yo bula moma ente fama ko di soto be min bondi la na poso kono ta di mola andu mo fama ko do soto amon ko di dunia mi ya lon ka si banko la hajo ziara so min ko mayata wole mu na demokrasi buka na bambandi na noma sakona alfa bi ya lon ko do ko ifada banko kam pour démocratie e balu ko tan UDP ala na kana fu bi lumolu ya maro mi ka fo ngam nyum kilim ba ya kilim nan na banko samba nyaar na to nya fo nyoy sen da boyo le fo ni tambila ko ye fenfo ay ke to nyaar a kolea da nyaaw nyaaw ibe to nyaam ni sama ibe to nyaam ni fasaka ibe lori woto neka wo kuma da pake ni local government election kuma rimbale andu dikirine ko na minube londi jamabe kono ala be tambi dila parce que mol fanan ya jele ko banko niatare ya di do kulala o banko ko tare akada niatare bari banko ko abe kalawante o bulu e ibina jela banko ko sia fenol dabe kolearing tamo be kolearing na moy drom kibaro do ko na fondinke o liye muta boroko iba try kan no bukata ni bakuela so ñinu be kuleti mi yalon ko election o non ne sa jarano o election o na faye démocratique nimman fansembe démocratie la e banko la ñaata be kole ala baku kamaba
okay.
Two more questions, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for that question. I'm happy to hear that I was going to start more at the file. What's that? Okay, already. More mobilization from the road level. Sensitization for the number from Mala Boyford. Another party for a very good statement is strong for that matter. And the party militants should be encouraged at voting. We are also media press for election of Kumaya and also for the election of Kumaya, especially local government elections. Nothing government. So therefore, we cannot allow the same incompetence to drag down to local government administration. That's the disaster for Gambia. So that is why maybe we say you for a police and a feeling attack of fight. I know may include for the government that should go on. So the last 10 days only for more than half year. More than that around 7, 8 level. So over but first of all, NPP is surviving on politics of insult, politics of misinformation, and politics of tribalism. So one of Gambian will be back. These are the three categories NPP they survive. Exactly. Even more company can you the share company can you come. So Gambian will be responsible to come about TV, media, and all the media houses to expose these people. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Abdul.
Candidate not withdraw, but you will not Kabulu men na umari withdraw. Kata for till war ula, but you will not told them. Prove modo to the men say it's a men London or no, you marry any other. Amunta wood, you are coming up a Sibla can do in Kilamo, Sibla and Nano, Madame Fode. Why will the start up? Oh, but you will not do them also. Na candidate women on the Nyani Jam. I believe I phone you because you are a same body and Yanto in a particular super model, the Lumina here, but I put the Molula Capo, Camodo Londano, no letter, no same morning, no Yanto, no letter exercise. Daka Modo Yusamemu, Musa Jam, the two way they are no. I believe for the IEC, it will go. Water Kenola, you don't like a big Kangolamu section to the Lua, Sibla, Tang, Lulu, Flanya. And in coming for your woman before, when you for a little form of big cake and one for the back. By a walk, when you Woluani don't go, yet don't like candidate of by Woluani and Karabari. Yalu meaning Hakilma or Poing Ya Kiss. If I don't know, uniform Male coming for Sat. Very don't like candidate of Tata, do I send women in the woman in the board, not candidate do withdraw that. Nothing what will last on the Kuruka Jose, and no more say no. Sign don't that and all it. It a couple of Inteng ano bali le bayri luwa ko inteng yanta publication o kala yanta won mo taw kam ko la nen tel woru la bi janding election o tema waral til dadam bi ko dending election o tema den da wol taw kam ko la say wu ñu fro mo le no fa ñoo ñaade ko kam ko la le be te kam wo anu kam ko la luwa mi fa hantel bi na be ni election o tema sa kam inyanta kam ko la kala ko bari ka kam ko la ko da mo le bim bol na de nomination o so ni nomination of Bonal, very Camcularo. So, Wolamu, it will go, who Camcularo in, when it will Balicantola candidate or la nomination of the access. They are Mumoyo Jibe Banako, Monin Hakilo Manta, so no more Bukotano, so no more Totano. So when you quote me on the then one focus about Kawanaki, when I get a Yanja, Mikada Yanja. So for me, Abunyabi, Apilo be Aizile, Manfem Moina Full, but Kamimo Wolomiko, Yanijala surrounding, Ubidala on a post, the Momantara, no Sabaka water. But in the water can put in lava, by the common African, I'm put at the middle of the Luamenta. Left up commanding Kapula in the car of Roman Fanaki about UDP water source. Continue for the women before 2016. Mojama UDP in 10 to January in Tonton. Because near the OK, Yajel Pope, month before Karen 1996, UDP low that in Bakokan. And the million low UDP that on the road and I wanted to talk. Democracy Mantaranunja, Minunada Patil will be a Koy band, so in other Foko, UDP not a low wool like what I do. And I know what I go can make so Nimbang Pol and Yanto more than Nimbang. And no, a Koleata Pol Koleata Mala, a Koleala Fight at the water, like Koleata the Jambaroma UDP, but it Tala, and the moon never give up a cattle fight. Lugigra, you may be a case in the Amolando, but honey bee. Honey kum, Mola, the Ricama for 12 o'clock. Talentan and Infula, more than you like. And this other Dawda, Nandem Moroga Tamila Daga, work of 15 and more Baker and Bologna to go by Fila Sibito and by Fila UDP and I next one again. Near the Molbo Kalawani, more still have hope in UDP. What the Maya Tinale, Gambian will let them give up on the democracy. Because now the UDP gave up the democracy, it will be kidnapped. Monarchy, Makola Modu, the woman, the Kala Modu, Modu, the Kalaman, the Taranos, our president, but near you, President Milvo, the work, no president, and I mean, people that I know. Now, Tibija, will let her blue, the guy would not face a law. Follow Balantale, but in the final. B. William Bonnet, no. UDP Namuna Coma Democracy like Makoka. Handy Tara Yaleco Handy, you end up soldier of the defense. The Dunia soldier of the defense. We will continue to push for strengthening of Gambia's democracy. And no, won't let them on the Coma because Nanyan problem will on the Banco Lanyaki, Nim Banco Lanyaka, and it cannot go without democracy. So if a poor delicate, a million will do the coming and the Yamin 300 each candidate. A million will do the billion will do the poor delicate, you did people bite the poor baby. But I'm not going to come over here for Zoe and the continental level because Minka and people will sort of willing to go to Yana and the old Tonya will democracy, killing them the Sabbath and not the so no message to
ladies and gentlemen of the media, I think we have gone really very far. We will have the last question.
Okay. I am 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒎𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈 from the Workers' newspaper and Kasa TV. Okay, I'm rolling back to 2021 during the presidential elections. Just after the presidential elections, the UDP claimed that the elections was rigged, and it was engineered in favor of the NPP. So after that, it was widely said by the UDP that the election didn't go as expected because the IEC weren't fair at all. So coming into these elections, just as you said, that you kind of losing confidence in the IEC because of the way things are going, and about this candidate you're talking about. What if the election is rigged? This coming election is rigged. What would be your stand?
We don't do hypotheticals at the UDP. Just like we told the guy, we do not capable. What we are saying all the time is to insist that the institutions that are established to ensure fair play. The IEC is number one in regulating elections and managing them. The IGP is the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the Gambia. We want all our complaints, all our petitions, finally, if there is sufficient evidence, to take it to court. And we want, when we make these petitions after election, for the court to also look into them for the sake of justice. That is the way, and that's the only way we can go on in a democratic republic. So really, sometimes these questions, they come loaded, expecting that we will do things differently. We have been consistent, as our party leader has said. What we have been saying, we mean it seriously, and in action and in deeds, we are going to be very clear to everybody. But now we also challenge Gambia. We challenge our rivals in all the other political parties to ensure that once and for all, we have proper electoral reforms in the Gambia in the memory of Solo Sunday, who would be martyred 7 years tomorrow. It was on 14th of April 2016 that Solo last saw his family. It was 14th April 2016 that we last had the cry for constitutional and electoral reforms. But both the media and the majority of Gambians seem to have forgotten about that ultimate sacrifice, that ultimate price. Yes, at the beginning of the year, we gave him a fitting state funeral. But the eulogy of the party leader at that occasion was that the ideals which made Solo give his life and the quest for which he was fighting for still continues. So we are asking all Gambians, particularly the media, to take this message to our compatriots that it is time to do substantial change in our laws so that they are not only free and fair, so that elections are not only free and fair, but they are at the bottom of it very democratic.
Thank you. Thank you. And with regards to the your candidates who withdrew just not long ago, the case has been taken to the you preparing the case to for the courts. After the 2021 elections, you made a petition to the elections, counting out the elections, but the petition didn't go through because it was thrown in the trash. What if this petition is being thrown in the trash? What would be your next step?
This is what I was trying to say from the very beginning. We are not doing hypotheticals. We act based on the evidence. We are also urging all the institutions involved in the governance of the country to do their job. Because they have been given the mandate to deliver justice in elections, to make sure that malpractices and electoral fraud is investigated. This is all we are asking for. Because after the fact, it's always easy to get into hypothesis and say, oh, this is what we should have done, this is how we should have done it. Let all the institutions of governance fulfill their obligations, fulfill their mandate. This is what we are asking our leaders, our media, our civil society organization to amplify. Let us make the Gambia a champion for democracy and human rights and the rule of law once again, as it was during the dark days in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now hand over to the Assistant Secretary to just round up.
Yes, I will take this opportunity to thank all of you for being here and for being patient with us. It's been a long day, and hope to see you again. And urging all Gambians to go out on Sunday, on Saturday, and vote. Thank you very much.
We will end with prayer, silent prayers.